temperature of the cube is changing.
Inspired by the Panzer Dragoon series, Crimson Dragon takes to the skies of a mysterious planet on the backs of mighty dragons. But can a game with a borrowed legacy and an obscure genre rise above the clouds? Or does it crash in a fiery ball of jagged polygons?
We haven't seen this thing for a decade. Why now? Fall back! We aren't prepared to take this thing on! Repeat, fall back now! Fall back, damn it!
The game takes place on planet Draco, where colonists from Earth have tamed the native dragons. A mysterious virus has... You know what? It doesn't really matter. The story is just an excuse to ride around on dragons. You won't really care why anything is happening, but the fantastic worlds in each level are works of art. It's too bad the beautiful scenery is a jarring contrast with a decidedly primitive dragon and enemy models.
Try using your wingman skill. It's a powerful weapon in a pinch, but you can only use it a few times. Use it wisely.
Crimson Dragon is an on-rail shooter, so the camera moves along a set track at a fixed speed while you move around the screen dodging obstacles and enemy projectiles. An on-screen reticle aims whatever weapons you have equipped, and there's actually a good variety of stuff your dragon can cough up. Some auto-aim over a large area, others lock on and automatically hit. Some do neither but can be spammed like crazy, and in between aim assist and projectiles that home in on their targets, volume is often better than precision. Shooting is the game's core mechanic, but it's chaotic and awkward to aim with the analog stick, especially with the camera constantly moving. So much is happening so quickly that any attempt at precision quickly degenerates into a mess of unaimed fireballs. Moving the dragon is also difficult. You need to dodge attacks, but the best way to do that is to constantly move in a circle around the screen. It's the aerial equivalent of circle strafing. At times the game asks you to collect beacons, yellow diamonds, in your flight path. Your dragon needs to be in the right place on the screen as you pass them, but since the dragon's path is invisible, you never know which side of the track you need to be on to catch the beacon. For some boss fights, the game leaves its rails for free flight mode. During these times, you can steer the dragon with the left analog stick. The flight controls are just floaty enough to make flying challenging. Trying to aim and fly at the same time requires cyborg levels of multitasking, and is likely to produce frantic and involuntary comedy. Adding some much-needed depth to the gameplay, every enemy and every dragon has an element type: fire, wind, or light. It's a rock-paper-scissors mechanic that grants just enough of a bonus to attack and defense to make it worth considering without becoming the entire game. Completing missions grants experience and money that lets you unlock and buy new dragon types, and a varied stable allows you to select the right dragon for a given mission. Upgrading and customizing your dragons just might be the best part of the game. Before each mission, you can hire a dragon that's been leveled up and personalized by other online players. They're helpful and stay out of your way during combat, but they don't really contribute much to the gameplay experience.
Your wingman will attack on their own. If they're in front, they'll attack forward. If they're in back, they'll attack behind you.
The Kinect controls work surprisingly well, but they're also limited. Leaning left or right activates a dodge move. Voice commands are restricted to moving your wingman position to the front or back and activating a special attack. And that's about it. The Kinect controls amount to nothing more than a novelty since all the commands have easy-to-reach buttons on the controller. Why raise your hand to your head and shout "Assault" when you can just press the X button? It only takes about 5 hours to run through the 28 missions, but completing the game is just the start. Players are encouraged to replay missions in pursuit of S ranks and high scores, which display on the in-game leaderboards. Upgrading dragons and showing off your high scores can actually be enjoyable, so it's a shame that these experiences are let down by the generally awkward gameplay. Leveling up dragons and replaying for ranks and leaderboard score might be enough to garner Crimson Dragon a cult following, but for most people the bungled core mechanic is a deal breaker. This dragon might fly, but it never truly soars.